What we're gonna do? We're gonna go live. We're here at the Blockchain Center. We're here. Today's episode is Tokenizing David Gokhshtein.
That's right, bitches.
Yeah. See? Yeah, this is the after hours stream. That's fine. But but I've come across David in my my mimetic travels, I guess.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So like really what happened is that okay, so there's this one sentiment site. So I'm interested in sentiment analysis, and what I came across is, have you seen Lunar Crush before? David?
Yeah, absolutely. They owe me a fucking belt.
On Lunar.
I'm the champ. When it comes to being number one, like you're looking at him right now, it's me. Number one every week. There's like nobody can beat me. Lunar Crush, Joe, where's my belt, Joe?
Yeah, I think I was like, all right, so I was just like, okay, I'm into sentiment analysis, and then I go, who's like, they have a new influencers tab, and there you are, number one.
So
that's just like, that should be permanently there. So like,
okay,
yeah, so just like
wallpapered.
At this point, like, there's nobody that's actually going to beat me, because like,
David,
that is based on data, like real data, people interacting.
Oh yeah, let's look at the data real quick. I was like, who the F is David Gokhshtein?
Why do you want to tokenize yourself, David?
Say that again. I'm so sorry. Why do I want to tokenize?
Yes.
Ooh,
I just feel that people are tired of Bitcoin.
Okay.
I think they need some Gok in their life.
Yeah.
This show is like, I apologize in advance to everybody.
Oh, this is amazing. I'm all about it. We're gonna have Adam in here, and it's gonna be even crazier.
On a more serious note, I mean, like,
you're influential. What does that mean to be influential on 17?
I don't fucking know.
Like you're influential. You have 330% influence on Bitcoin itself.
That's cool.
Like, who the hell are you?
Yeah, I'm being shilled. Bitcoin is paying me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The next time anybody says that, I really want them out of this space.
Yeah, you'd be like, Bitcoin's dad, and he's my dad, and I'm your dad.
Look at that graph, though. What happened?
Honestly, I'll say this: like, I'm not into this whole. This is nice and whatever, but like, I'm not into this.
Yeah, what are you into? Because I have like some other stuff that you have. This is your Gokhshtein.com.
There you go. That's what I'm into.
Yeah,
you're into.
So we're a media company. We come out, like, we just produce educational material. Like, so people that come into this space, like you know, before we came on the show, you were like, hey, do you know like blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, absolutely not. Let me call my mom. So like, if you're going to sit
his mom works on mainframes, disclaimer.
Yeah. So if we're going to go ahead and talk like C++, we're going to get lost in the sauce right now, because I have no.
Oh, well, listen, if you're talking about sauce, listen, I've literally been inside of sauce competitions. Like, I'm sauce man. No, but for real, underneath it all, what I'm going to do is that we're going to explore the idea of tokenizing yourself, and then actually go into the code.
I'm going to tell you how it happened, because you asked me a question.
Sure.
I'm on Twitter one day. I'm just playing. I'm being playful.
Yeah.
I always reply to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I see all these tokens coming out, and I'm like, you know what? Somebody needs to. No. Actually, I think it was Ben. Ben is tokenized now. The guy so he's a tokenized seller.
Yeah.
Was it Gravis?
Yeah, Ben Gravis.
Yeah. And then there's another guy, Evan, and then there's another guy from like Sweden. And okay, so I'm like, you know what? If they tokenized me, actually, no. I said that in another tweet, but then Lunar Crush came out with Zap and said, well, why don't you tokenize David already at this point? And I'm like, oh shit, listen, I've talked about it before, but that would be kind of cool as a fucking joke, nothing more than that. Like, am I going to be Bitcoin? Am I going to be number one? Yes, we all know that. Coin market cap, they're going to have to move Bitcoin, put me in the number one spot. We know this, but as a joke, it was a joke, plain joke. That's hard.
Honestly, these jokes are really viral, so I'd be like at my computer, because I'm like, I do a lot of the development on Zap right now, and it's like David Gokhshtein. I'm like, what? Like, I was like, I'm typing away, and I have like the chat going on in my ear. I'm like, oh, I don't care who this David guy is. All right, fine, we'll talk to him.
Can you say what you really said? Like, who the fuck is this Gokhshtein guy?
Okay, yeah, be like,
just like, let's be honest.
I've been hanging around the Greeks too much. It'd be like, who the fuck? Who the fuck is this guy? I'm like, I don't ever hang out in New York. Now I'm like angry. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I'm trying to make a website, and people are talking about how David Gokhshtein's gonna tokenize himself.
We're gonna
revolutionize. Like, I'm gonna go out to like Venezuela and be like, here's my currency. You don't have to go ahead and wait for your digit to come out on your ID in order to go ahead and get, yes, I'm into all that stuff. So, I might come on to Twitter and social media and have fun, but when it comes to history and economics and all that stuff, I know it down pat. My background is marketing and finance. So
okay, yeah, that's like, you're like the complete opposite of me, because like what happened was that I got into crypto around like 2013, and it was just like nobody cared unless you were a computer programmer or you were in like this small niche like crypto or anarchist movement. It was like, okay, how are we going to get 30 people to be in one room for free and have food? So in Philadelphia here, we went to the 30th Street train station.
So, you're from Philly? Oh, wait, did you go to that event? I heard they had an event out there.
They did have an event, and it was definitely insane. I was literally trying to get out of the city, and I had to like dart around the entire thing to get back. So it was definitely like, it was crazy. But yeah, I'm Adam's here.
Who the fuck is Adam?
Who the fuck is Adam? Hey, Adam, who the fuck are you?
Guys, let's keep this not.
Right. Hey, Adam, who the hell are you?
Yeah. What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Yeah, we're on stream. We're talking about tokenizing. David here, and
that's the new slogan now.
Yeah.
Who the bleep is Adam, right? Sorry, Adam.
Yeah. No. It's okay. I didn't connect the dots. I got it. Like, what's your name, Jerry, or whatever the hell? And they're huge, Jerry. What? Yeah, whatever.
No, anyways, we were talking. I was just talking about how we saw him on because we were analyzing what Lunar Crush was, because we're down with sentiment analysis, and then he's like #1.
Yeah, we're talking Lunar Crush.
I was like, Lunar, what is this? I'm like,
you want to? Do we have a count? How many people are watching this right now?
Do we? There's we're on 4 different platforms. That doesn't give me an accurate representation.
Are we on
to
Twitter
be
right now or no?
We're on Periscope, YouTube,
all right,
Facebook.
That's it. Let's blast this live. Let everybody know.
We need some comments up in this.
Justin.
Okay, so real talk though. There's some straight up use cases when it comes to tokenizing you, David, and I think it's worth exploring because there's a lot that could be done.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I was like, damn, why don't I tokenize myself? And like, now I wanted to like at least talk about that. It was like, yo, are you tokenizing yourself in like little discrete packages, or can I buy like 1/64th of you, or am I gonna make a trading card of you like Tops?
You can buy my toe.
Okay.
Oh,
no,
nice.
But the thing is, there's how many bones are inside the toe? Can we tokenize each bone or no?
See, it's weird because like I'm not like with the whole tokenizing thing, like I'm not trying to make money.
Okay, that's very interesting too. So when
I'll take all the money and I'll donate it to charity. Like for me, it's like I just want when I work for like different projects or I advise for them, and when I came into the space in 2014, it was more so like, first of all, thank you to my idiotic friend who gave me free Bitcoin. I didn't want it. He forced it. I said, okay, I'm with it.
Yeah,
I'm never going to use this shit.
Honestly, that's like the use case. I was like, how am I going to get these people here? I'm going to give them Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's like, and like if you went to shows, like they would give you out, like some random dude would just give you out like, hey, here's some Bitcoin, and like you'd be like, what's wrong with you, bro? Like get away from me. Now, like think back, like go back to 13, like give me it. give me. I'll take whatever's on that drive. I will take it.
Well, you want 3,000 Bitcoin? Yeah, whatever. Like I got that. There was this one cart that accepted Bitcoin, and I don't know where these people are. They probably vanished. Like they had there was this one cart that would accept Bitcoin outside 30th Street Station, and I think literally everybody gave them money. It was insane. So these people probably vanished and living on some floating island.
Probably.
But now nobody wants to give up their Bitcoin. Now it's hold
it.
Yeah, that's just what it is now. That's so weird.
There ain't too many Bitcoin fountains these days. I'll tell you that much. It used to be.
If you're going to tell everybody that Bitcoin is going to be $300,000, in the next 5 years, why am I getting rid of it?
Why am I using it? I always think about this. There's probably some broke high school kid that could make money clicking on the fountains where they make you watch the ads for 30 seconds. And that guy's what his time was worth watching those fountains, where it would play an ad and pay you Bitcoin. It's probably ridiculous right now. You know what I mean? There's some guy that made a shit ton of money on just some magic fairy dust on the internet. Now he's loaded just from watching fountains.
But that's a lot of, honestly, a lot of people just fell into it.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're experts on economics.
That's what I was saying, is that I'm a computer programmer. You're the opposite of me because you actually know things about finance. I'm
I fell into it. Hey, I'm not gonna be I'm not coming on here one of these experts, which I don't believe we have experts in this field, but when they come on and they say, well, I'm an expert on, no, you're not. You fell into it like everybody else. If you're gonna tell me you thought that this shit was gonna go to $19,000 or almost 20, you're lying. That's straight up bullshit. Excuse my language.
Yeah, I wonder where they.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I know you don't. I'm so sorry.
No, actually, it doesn't really matter, to be honest, to me.
But for me, it's I got interested in this space because of the decentralization part.
Sure.
Because you go ahead and give your money to the bank. I looked at the technology. I'm okay. My uncle, my mom told me to go buy domain names back when the internet came out. I didn't listen to them. I made fun of them. I'm not making fun of anybody now. I'm looking at blockchain okay, this is real. I'm looking at the decentralized part of it, and I'm you know what? This builds back trust. That's what I said when I first looked at it. I said, we've lost trust with technology. This really builds back trust. So if we look at an example the banks, people might not like Ripple. Fine. That's okay. You might hate it, but Ripple designed their products to go ahead and, because the banks are not going anywhere. Let's be honest. The banks are not going anywhere. They're going to work with us now.
Right.
And we will build back that trust because everything will be decentralized. But Ripple created products for the banks.
Yeah.
And they're ahead of the game. And now OCC made everything, look what happened today. Kraken.
Yeah.
Became a bank. Yeah, they came to a bank. I just read that.
They got chartered. Fucking awesome. That's adoption.
Yeah.
So again, it's for me personally, it's it builds back trust. To me, blockchain builds back trust. Corporations like Nike use blockchain. They can go ahead and not lose money and make more profit. It's just, that's what I look at blockchain as. And it's not regulated. A lot of people think blockchain's regulated. It's not. The regulators actually help blockchain. It's the digital assets that nobody has a clue on how to regulate in general. That's why you have
thing you can't. We're talking anything online. It's just a picture. How are you going to regulate a picture, a limited supply of? You know what I mean? There's a very fine line.
I think there's a significant difference. I think there's two components to talk about. Number one, there's no regulation of Bitcoin. Right? You're regulating the people that use Bitcoin, which is a completely different story. Bitcoin itself is not regulatable. The people that use Bitcoin, you can definitely squeeze, but the actual technology itself is by definition unregulatable. And there's a lot of different things that support that. Then there's a secondary component within that. And you touched on it really well, David, where you're talking about essentially this like new asset class, like digital assets, where they kind of bridge the ability to be able to monetize thoughts, ideas, speech, like, and these are things that are protected by your First Amendment rights. So they cause a real tricky situation because it almost uses the Leviathan that is government against itself, because they've been able, you know, these are guaranteed rights that you have in the Bill of Rights. And now they would really have to torture the law to do something to regulate them. And that's like, it's a really sticky area for them. And they have a problem, because they're like, oh, okay, how do I make money off of somebody's First Amendment, right, in the US at least? And it's a very difficult thing, because you're actually monetizing speech, which is, code is speech. It's been, ruled on a bunch of times. So it's really a dicey area for them. And they, if it wasn't for that Constitution, that damn Constitution, they might have a chance.
I agree with you, Adam. It's just like Bitcoin, you can't regulate it. It's just the other ones that you have, everything that's built on Ethereum. And, who knows what's going to happen with Ethereum 2.0. I've been looking at it and I'm like, this
make
might be
Ethereum centralized again.
Yeah.
Mecca.
But like at the end of the day, so I read an article today where an ICO was fined, an ICO was fined $5 million, but they raised 40.
Yeah.
So I told I was like, I told my VP, I'm like, why don't they just save the trouble for the taxpayer and everybody else, right? Why don't you just go ahead and collect money pre-ICO? So for like 0.5% on every million raised, boom, you get your money, you're good. That product that's coming out has a chance, and that's it. Like I feel like we have rules in place right now which don't allow really smart people like Eric who know coding to go ahead and create a project to go ahead and be successful. You got to go to Malta. You got to go to
Cuba. Something I was thinking about. I was like, oh man, I'm going to tokenize them online. I better use testnet tokens.
Yeah.
I was like, shit. I was like, I'll actually just go to jail like immediately. Just,
but it's just
arrive at my house. You're waiting for you to do this online. It's necessary. I broadcasted it.
It's just complete bullshit. It's just like, it's if there's a real project, a real use case, stop. Like we are losing talented people and they're heading off to Estonia, to Lithuania, to Latvia to go ahead and create a project. And that country is earning dividends on it. Like we're earning nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked to a lot of exchanges and different people. I mean, Eric's been on the phone. I don't know who's got the echo, but you gotta cut that. Anyways, so we talked to a lot of different exchanges, a lot of different companies, and one of the common themes amongst them, specifically, in my role working with the blockchain center, one of the common themes amongst them is that the U.S., by being so draconian and providing such little clarity on what we're able to do or what we aren't able to do, and the threat of regulation, not even the regulation itself, push so much money into China, who's supposed to be like, this sworn enemy or whatever the hell. It just all moved over there. You took great flourishing U.S. exchanges and you literally destroyed them almost overnight by threatening them with, jail time and fines and everything else, which, a lot of that didn't even come true. They're like, oh, well, that guy doesn't even know what he's talking about. By the way, competing alphabet agencies saying that they have domain over things when the reality is our government's become amiss with, tons of places that, you have the regulators becoming the legislators and, all this blurred lines area where they believe that they can just write law from the, from their seat of power, which is not trying to get too crazy about it, but I think it's cross spectrum of any political angle. Like no matter where you are, there's an agency over you that's saying you can do this or you can't do this. And that's not something that's, specifically for the U.S. and the way it's supposed to work is supposed to come from, your legislative branch. So it's a really commingled area, and there's a lot of big egos that are in charge of these things. It's very political, and I think it's a shame that we're taking America's best and brightest and our future to become one of the best countries and to really cultivate something new and create a new workforce and a lot of talented people and send them to people that are supposedly trying to do us harm. That's what we're told every day, in the news. So it's really ironic that when it comes down to it, it's just a bunch of people that don't want to, sacrifice their own self-interest, which isn't even the case. They just what they perceive to be their own self-interest, for the greater good. And I think at the end of it, you create new industries and a new economy, which is even leaner, better, faster, more efficient. So it's a really interesting thing, especially reading your tweets. I'm not particularly a big Ripple fan, but they're, I'm open to the, free market of ideas here. If there's something really good, and it works better, for sure. I mean, I'm not going to say, me and Eric were talking about this earlier.
It's fast AF,
Huh?
It's fast as fuck.
It is.
Yeah, dude, listen, you can't argue. You can't argue that
it sucks.
You can't argue that it is fast. You know, it definitely is.
The same reason why we like Tron. You're like, oh man, I don't want to like Tron, but guess what? Damn fast.
I really don't want to like
look. You got to look at. I have to be fair. Like the reason why I like XRP, or I guess Ripple. You know, I like Ripple. And I like XRP. The reason why I like it is that they made a use case for it. Like you're not getting rid of the banks. Like no matter how much we talk, you know, the banks are not going anywhere. They're gonna line up. They're gonna decentralize themselves, and that's it. But Ripple's right there with their, you know, the ODL. It's a perfect thing, man. I'd love to use it. We probably are using it, where I can send money to somebody within a few seconds and not pay these. I'm paying my bank to bank with them like 20. I mean, come on. I mean, it's ridiculous. So yeah.
You probably won't get rid of. I think you're right. I think that you probably won't get rid of like a traditional role of like a clearinghouse, right? Okay, I'd call it like more like a clearinghouse, because it's not necessarily going to be the same that a bank would be, right? It'll have hybrid solutions, CeFi, DeFi, and you know, this is funny because like I'm a big Uniswap guy, but then I used KuCoin again for like you know, long time hadn't used it. I was like, damn. Give it stop losses in and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
like it was I was like, whoa! Like I forgot how great it was to use a centralized solution to a degree. Yeah, 3x leverage and all that stuff.
Wow,
so it was really funny. But to your point, David, again, like exactly what you're saying. Traditional roles don't necessarily change. What I like to like compare it to is really the relationship between like BearShare and Napster compared to the music industry, and then what the end result was like Apple Music, Vivo and YouTube, and then like Spotify, and that's like where we ended up with something that was better for both the consumers and the sellers, where you have like a really
I don't know about the sellers. Someone who's a musician, Spotify's horrible.
Wow.
I would say if you're a bad musician, you can sell your music now, right? Because like before, there wasn't a way to do that.
Even said, he's like, in traditional means of digital production, you can't rely on releasing music every 4 to 5 years. You got to basically churn out crap.
Stop being lazy.
Yeah, this is probably one of the best. Probably one of the best shows I've been on. I gotta tell you,
this one.
You guys are.
Dude, this is our conversations where we're just hanging out in the blockchain centers. Literally, we just yelling at each other.
Don't you just hate it? It's like I go on shows, like no disrespect, I love you guys, but like it's just, when'd you get in? What's your name? Tell me about your comp. Like I don't even want to talk about that shit. Like let's get right down to it.
So when you were in 5th grade, David, I heard you had an interesting experience.
5th grade, I was very interested.
So like in 5th grade, right? This girl, I sent her a letter, and it had like a yes or a no, or on the bottom it had a maybe.
Oh my God!
She marked none of the 3. Yeah.
Ooh,
that's my story from 5th grade.
That's rough.
Oh my God.
No, but look, I just, I feel like there's no, like now I think they now understand there's no way to stop this. Like Bitcoin is not a joke. Where in 2017 you had a bunch of new people jump into the space, and first time investors, like all these retail, all the retail that came in, first time investors, 95%. And I don't think they presume they're gonna get rich overnight, and now 3 years later they're angry. But you know what? What saved everything right now? It's DeFi. It's DeFi and Uniswap. So like all the angry bag holders are now getting an opportunity to go ahead and you can just pick it out of a bag. Like I'm gonna take a bag right now and say, okay, caviar. I'm going with caviar.
Oh yeah. Our last episode was where we went down the genealogy of the DeFi tokens through Spring Roll. We had pizza,
hot dog, Squirrel Finance,
Squirrel. We had nuts.
Yes,
we got some nuts.
Yeah.
We did some. We did kimchi, God kimchi, Higgs boson kimchi. Dark matter kimchi.
Yeah. So
Sure.
yeah, I mean, we've been having fun playing with all these tokens, and like some of them, you just know you're gonna get burned, right?
Like-
and that's like part of the fun. It's like a paid. You know what? The way I look at like people that got burned 3 years in, like or like three, like you were saying, like came in 3 years ago. Like I'm not saying like it's a good thing. Like markets move, but the reality is like they did learn something, you know. And then the next wave comes in, and they are a little bit smarter, a little less greedy, make some knowledge about investing, understanding crypto is a real thing.
But Adam,
and
you know
it's
what?
like,
I don't mean to touch you, but you know what happens now? In 2017, we had the Lamborghini without the engine in it, with all the pretty, you know, we had the pretty pictures. Like if you didn't have a pretty picture, like nobody cared, right? So like you could have had the ultimate use case. Nobody looked at it because you had Bitcoin's white paper, pretty much, right? Just plain simple, right? Straight to the point.
yeah.
Yet, if you had the Lamborghini of PDFs, you had every nation in it. You had every single person jumping in. The ICO $65 million raised, and then 3 months later they're gone. So now in 2017, the projects that actually stayed and worked their asses off, we actually have. I really do believe in 2020, besides COVID and aliens coming by and visiting us, we have real use cases, right?
Yeah.
I can't believe nobody. I'm into the whole UFO thing, but like here out in Jersey, we had a whole freeway stopping, looking at a fucking blimp.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Thinking it's a UFO. Like we are all messed up. But
identified flying objects. Like I totally.
They want us to go back an hour in November. I don't want to go back an hour. I want to fast forward out of 2020. But on some real stuff, we have a lot of use cases now than we did in 17. So we have a lot of projects that work. But now for the DeFi, nobody cares about the projects anymore. They're like, I'm going to DeFi to make 100,000 times on my money. So all the real projects are like, you know what I'm doing? I'm going DeFi. So every real project has gone, like half of them have gone into DeFi. And you ask them what's DeFi, they don't even know what DeFi is.
The definitions are completely different and the categorizations are completely different. I think the definition of DeFi is literally what Wall Street called derivatives for like the longest time is now in crypto. And some of them have been here in centralized ways, and now they're in decentralized way. But to your point as well,
we pinpointed it though, and we pinpointed it to when Ample had their elastic supply, and we can really pinpoint it on that because when you say that you're going to stake on a liquidity pool and then have the chance to earn on top of that,
the geyser,
and then that is what caused it all to like start like fractaling off, because then all of a sudden. I had like a billion different ones that were like, not just trying to like run it off of a price oracle, but they were like sushi. It was like, oh, Uniswap, you have billions of dollars worth of volume.
Dude, so there's a bunch.
What they did, so like they had a version 1 to version 2 migration. They took that migration and migrated over billions of dollars.
There's like a bunch of things that led to the perfect storm that blew up in the last week. One of them is liquidity pool tokens and Uniswap v2.0, right? It was like, I don't even know if it was purposefully done that way or just a better way to keep track of the accounts of liquidity pools. But that transferability of LP tokens is like one component. The other thing is like yield farming and vaults and contracts. And then the third one is this elastic supply that allows you to expand and contract your money. The one thing that I was going to say too is I think like the whole crypto space, you're saying like, now we're in this like Lamborghini stage. I think it's like kind of like America was, right? Like back in the 50s, like we had rockets and everything, like we're doing really cool stuff. And then like all of a sudden, like there's a bunch of years where nothing happened. And then all of a sudden we had rockets again. And like, I think it's more like that because in 2013, decentralized name servers with Namecoin, like no white papers, people were just launching shit. Everybody was just doing shit left and right. I feel like we've come full circle. We've gone back to the future, right? So it's like we're like Marty McFly.
And Biff is like in charge right now, and we're like, fuck, Bitcoin is at what price, and Biff is in the White House. Shit, like
it's like an alternate future, but like it's like 20 2011, 2013, fast forward again with all the banking and random characters that have disappeared and come back. Now we got this guy at like Andre making urine shit. I love it. Like a big fan. Just like, yeah, I got time this weekend, guys. I'll add that too. Like straight up deploying it without auditing it. It's pretty funny. And this is how innovation happens. I mean, I think everybody was scared for a long time, but now with COVID and the threat of riots burning down your house, I think nobody gives a shit anymore. Everybody's been locked inside.
Why not? Sounds harmless.
No, I'm just saying like they're just like everybody's just like, fuck it, we've been locked up for 8 months and just like crazy.
You said something, Adam, like you said about you mentioned Congress, right? And that's one of the reasons why I ran for a seat for Congress. It was
which I just
I ran because I feel like there's like if you watch, I'm not a big fan of Facebook or Zuckerberg, but like you watch him sit there during that, that subpoena. None of them had a clue about the internet. So these are the same people, right? So like
you can track people across websites, of course.
So to me, it's like, hold on. So you are going to regulate blockchain and digital assets. You have no clue how to sign into Facebook, but yet you are going to regulate this space. That's the problem. We got 70, 80-year-olds there sitting there getting paid off by somebody who knows, probably get in trouble for that shit. But I'm saying,
speaking of which,
we need some young blood in there.
Yeah,
we need somebody who understands what Bitcoin is and why it came out.
I think I think you're 100% right. I think that actually, I almost prefer that they don't know about it for right now, just because like there's not.
Why?
They're only gonna get in the way.
No.
They're only gonna get in the way right now. If they find out when DeFi is, it's over.
I tell you right now, if you had people with our passion sitting on those seats, you would have. Yeah. We would have the freedom to listen. There's bad guys in this space. So we'll go ahead and slap them on the wrist and we'll do what we need to do with them. But for the most part, there are people that are trying to, take the space to the next level, and we're locked. We can't go ahead and push for adoption because we're using 1933 fucking policies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think,
dude,
I'm a little bit more cynical. I'm a little bit more cynical about government's role in cryptocurrency. I think that every opportunity, like Bitcoin was, I give the example like Nick, one of the reasons I work with Nick is, dude, the guy had a perfectly fine business, on Wall Street, trading coins and everything like that. And then of course, Big Brother comes in and just destroys his perfectly fine business. No, we need to help you with that. You need to get fixed. That's like usually my vision of them in general. I don't think that they're necessarily and I do everything that they require. We comply by everything, but by the same token, I mean, some of these things are just like erroneous. If Bitcoin couldn't ever compete with the amount of bad things that the U.S. dollar does on a daily basis, ever. It's not even remotely in the same or any other cryptocurrency. I think that most of the actors
say that. Adam, don't say that.
No, say it again, man.
The U.S. dollar. It's like or any type of fiat for that matter. I think the cryptocurrency space, most people, this is like an agreement amongst everybody. We all agree that we don't want to see bad things happen. We come up with different types of things, and we create clearinghouses for older people. Like Coinbase is a great thing for somebody like my dad to use. He can understand that. He can't understand how to set up a private wallet, everything else. So that's a good option for him. And then if you're like paranoid like me, you can go to the other end of it and get one of those manual private key generators and all that shit. It just depends on like whatever you want. We got whatever the flavor. It's like Baskin Robbins over here. We got it all, and then the other option is you get one way and it's our way and there's nothing else. And I think, I think it's really interesting. I do agree if there was friendly, people in the government. I think David, that, you might be more of an optimist than me when it comes to that. You're like, oh man, if we just had the right guys in there, I think that Bitcoin tends to self-regulate. And it's a really great thing. I mean, there's been propositions in the Ethereum and everything else.
Adam, I'm not even talking about Bitcoin. Like that's for sure. You're nailing it. Like I agree with you 100%. I just, the Commodore 64 was cool. Like we had,
I say Nintendo.
For me, like I love Bitcoin. It makes up most of my portfolio. Do not get me wrong. So when you see me say XRP and Stellar and this one and that,
Right.
it's just that I like the use case. So it's for those projects that I'm more, I'm mouthing off about those projects.
Oh, got you.
I feel like,
you're an
they're locked up.
influencer.
They can't advance. I mean,
Look
like,
at your.
You're talking different. I'm talking apples. You're talking oranges. Two different things. I get what you're saying though. Like you're talking like
if we're
sheer
talking about
open source.
Bitcoin, then like we don't have to worry about Bitcoin. Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha.
I'm in agreement. I'm really talking about everything that's, obviously built on Ethereum or has switched over to Tron.
Yeah.
Favorite. Eric was talking about how he loves, Justin's son and Tron.
Oh my God!
Now you're gonna give me a migraine.
I can't. You know what? You can't knock the guy. He did everything right.
He didn't build a token.
Not saying names.
He didn't.
Everything
I
right.
said this in 2017. Replay my streams. I said he didn't. This kid is not here to build just Tron. He's coming here to build. He wants to be Zuckerberg of this case, basically.
Yeah.
Just take everything over.
Yeah.
And he's doing it. I mean, slowly, he's
BitTorrent. Big W.
I mean, I used BitTorrent
Till the whole engineering team quit when he bought him.
I mean,
that was rough.
He just got money.
You got to give it to him. Like, you don't like his announcement after announcement after announcement. I get it, but it works. He got, what is it, $2.5 billion market cap on it? Like,
dude, he's killing the game, no doubt. I mean, the guy knows what he's doing. And by the way, invested in some, like we were just messing around, took a little money and put it into Tron. And we used JustSwap for like a half second. We're like, wow, TronLink came a long way. Like TronLink, when we first talked about it a while ago, was the most hot piece of garbage ever. And then we had an experience with it. We still had some
plagiarized white paper. Remember that? I remember seeing that everywhere. And I was like, I'm a big Tron fan, so plagiarized white paper. You're
open source.
Scammer. You're a scammer for saying it.
Dude, it can't be plagiarized. This is the copy pasta world over here in open source. I mean, it's just literally.
What do you mean? Like, you don't have a money machine that goes burr?
Wait, so you mean to tell me you're not going to pay any gas fees? It's going to work twice as fast.
It does have
and you have smart contracts. Okay,
it's like the perfect melange because you got that DPoS, like distributed proof of stake type John. So it's like,
listen,
so what? He gets rich off of it. So what?
We need Ethereum to survive. Like we need it to. 2.0 will crash. Like there's I have no doubt that 2.0 is going to be a clusterfuck.
So how do you want to be tokenized then?
But I'm being honest. Like that's my honest opinion. While we're still working, I would like to be tokenized. Once it falls apart, I mean, fuck it. Like we'll go ahead and do the
No, I mean, so
you'd be like, yo, swap. I'll be over there. Like,
all right. So what Zap does?
We could do this. I mean, like, I'll just like give you like.
Wow, is that a real Bitcoin?
I got a Bitcoin. All right.
There you go.
I got a dash. I got a dash.
Nice.
There you go. I got some of those.
Me too. Don't we all?
Well, I think that like this comes back to like the idea that we are not really that serious about the space, and then when we talk about things, they actually happen. It's like, oh shit, I did that by accident. And like
that was my idea.
No,
but like me and Adam used to go to all these conventions, and we're like, man, this sucks.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question about the convention, right? It's the same people. So how do we get adoption, right? If we're talking to the same people are talking and same audience, how do you build this space? Like to me,
programs, man.
I hate COVID. I hate COVID. It's ruined my life. Like I cannot do anything anymore. I can't go to an island. Like I'm trapped. But at the end of the day, like I think the virtual shit has worked out because a lot of people, besides looking at everything and saying, okay, where are we getting all this money in the United States? Like, where are we getting this money? People have learned about Bitcoin.
Yep.
And I think that you've brought in a lot more people by doing things virtually. And I think we need to start going out of crypto Twitter, Okay, we're so stuck in crypto Twitter.
Yeah.
We need to leave crypto Twitter, and we need to have these like I went to Pace University. We need to have these meetups with these people that are just like interested but don't know how to get into it because they're confused by their address. If their fat finger hits the wrong key, it's going to send $50,000 to the wrong person. I'm going to lose my money. So we need to do that kind of stuff. And that's how we, adoption starts. And we need to bring in merchants as well. Bring in the Walmarts. Well, they're already probably getting themselves into it, but I'm saying bring in the merchants so you can go to CVS and say, you know what, I'm paying with crypto.
Yeah, I mean, like there's some good like intermediaries like Bit Refill, and they're not even paying us, but like the real thing.
Sponsored, by the way.
Yeah. I wish. Call me. Anyways, no, but there's a bunch of there's e-gifter, there's major companies that are trying to work, like Net. I know there's a company in NetSense that works with any payment processor. They'll just pay their developer to come in and just work with you, so you don't even have to change anything. You just plug in. So there's all kinds of cool stuff that is coming out there, and I think that's the big one, right? To make it so boring, like plastic was back in like the 1940s or the 50s. I heard a guy that was talking about graphene talk about it this way, and I thought it was a great analogy. He's like, listen, if we do our job, blockchain is going to become plastic. And there's going to be no cult. There's not going to be any like crypto Twitter or anybody going crazy about it. It's just going to be something that's so routine and so much better than what you had. Like if you could monetize your healthcare data without surrendering your personal information, this would be an interesting thing. Like if you can, it's going to create different ways to own and operate things, roads, things like the potential that will happen. That's not even like, it's not even like a matter of debate. It's just a more efficient way to, anything, big contracts, DAOs, things like this. It just cuts out corruption, and corruption's a big cost. Chargebacks are a big cost. Blockchain on its merits, is a superior technology. If you can wait, a little bit of time for Bitcoin, but guess what? We don't even need to do that anymore because there's things like your boys, Ripple, and things that work really fast. So like now we have all the benefits of all these other currencies as well. We have side chains, we have clearing houses that can make shit happen way faster.
Yeah.
And there's really not even people watching it. It's just a couple companies, and they like have ideas and then they re-implement them. Most of the token projects, by the way, that have been building stuff, they're not like fucking coding every day. They're not doing anything. They wrote their code, they deployed it, they're sitting there like chilling out, whatever. And the reason for that is they think the job's done. Now you see something like SushiSwap clone what you have, steal everything, all of your liquidity in a couple days, start a whole new project, and then Uniswap.
So good.
It's like, dude, you had billions of dollars in VC funding. Instead of taking over the entire market and fast forwarding us 10 years, you just decided to chill out. And I'm not trying to shit on them because I know they did a lot of work. I'm just saying,
check out our stream taking apart Uniswap.
So quick. No, I love Uniswap. They did amazing stuff. I'm just saying that they might have maybe not share the front end resources that could have slowed them up a little bit, like do something. But like it was I don't think anybody expected a vampire attack to that magnitude coming this quickly.
I just found it funny when the guy said he laid back and he was like, listen, man, I think I took $11 million for myself. I did the right thing, and I have no clue what I'm talking about because I'm high. Like, I mean, his explanation was just like his ending of I am high right now, so I have no clue. Wow. That must be the greatest mic drop ever. Like, at least it was honest. I mean,
I
mean, the way it is.
Like, what kind of like actual program doesn't smoke weed? Like, what's up?
Right? How it is.
You're gonna steal with these people all day?
No, I mean, it's incredible. And I think that there's never been a time like this. The upward mobility in crypto, I think, is what scares everybody the most. You could be poor yesterday and just come out with a simple thing and be rich the next day if it's the right thing. If it's the right combination of ASCII characters and deploy to the dude, seriously.
I feel like if you come out with if you look at the right food, you name your token after a food. Mm-hmm. I think you have. I don't even think you need a use case behind it. I think you're fine. I think you start off right away from going from 1 cent to $5. So like right then and there.
I think it's wrong that that's the way that the culture is right now. I mean,
Well, everybody's so bored.
But Money Machine go burr.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess you're right, but like,
no, but I don't listen. I agree with
I
you.
hate kimchi, but I was like, kimchi, perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's wrong, but you know what? This will do. Like, look, DeFi, right? It's supposed to, in reality, like Bitcoin is. Listen, we've unbanked ourselves in like 09. So like for me personally, like that's why like I like Bitcoin and other digital assets is because I get to be my own bank. Like I know it's repetitive and you might hear that a lot, but I truly feel like I am my own bank. I don't have to answer to nobody. I don't have to call, wait 20 minutes, listen to music that'll make me drop the phone and leave them alone. So I am my own bank. I can do whatever I want. And yeah, you have to deal with, paying taxes to the government, and that should be put down because that's a little bit unfair. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. But like the whole concept makes sense. Like everything makes sense. Like you can't print any more Bitcoin. That's it. It's done. It's like there's no brr. Like right now we have people in the stock market, a very famous person that's like like anybody can get rich on the stock market. I play it also. It's like brr, as long as the printer's on, you're good. Like you can go into Robinhood, you're good. It's like brr, all day long. Hertz bankruptcy at 3 cents. It's at $6. I mean, like you're a winner all day long. I mean, like come on. It's not like you're sitting there without the printer on, and you have to actually look at data and study it.
How do you turn on the printer? And then all these old people are like, hey, turn it on.
I grew up in Buffalo, and like I remember the financial crisis of 08. Like there was like we had this like old shitty TVs. Like Buffalo's in the 1970s still, right? So we had like these old shitty TVs, and there were a bunch of people like crying and camping out in the park. Now in Buffalo, it's not the most richest place ever. And they're like in the stock market crash after these like guys crying in like suits and shit. And somebody out of the back was like, who the fuck owns stocks? It was just like the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life. Like just like blue collar as fuck. Like nobody owns stocks.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Stop.
Yeah. Stop.
But I guess that's why like I don't know. Like I really like I'm debating about doing the tokenizing myself because I don't want to come on here the next show. It's like the David Gokhshtein Center instead of the blockchain center. I could see it becoming that big, and I don't want to
save us the trouble from doing that.
You get it, Eric. You feel it. You understand it. I think Crypto Gal agrees, and debating right now.
No, I mean like if you create an endpoint, I mean I'm sure you sell some kind of services or something, or would like to like everybody wants to get paid for speeches or get on a program or something. Dude, just zap it. Put an endpoint with your Calendly link and have it redeemable for that. And then if people want to pay you in a token, it's super
non-shilly shit. Like I'm not.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. Like
I hate shills.
I spoke to a lawyer, great lawyer. She said, as long as you don't shill it, which I wouldn't, as long as you don't talk about it, try to say it's going 10 times, once it comes out and all this good stuff, that you're fine. So like to me, it was always like, okay, like I would do it, but like I don't want to mess with the SEC. Like I don't need it.
Let me explain the genius. Let me explain some of the genius behind that. So there are cases where you might consider, whatever you're doing in security when you tokenize. One of the best things about that is it would be like David Gokhshtein, instead of starting Google, started David Gokhshtein's API company. And it's redeemable for a very specific thing. So you're just selling your service for whatever that is. And because it's redeemable for an API endpoint, you can price that at whatever the hell you want.
Binance, relax. I know you hear Adam right now. Relax. Hold on. All right, hold on. I know Crypto Gal just texted me like, where can I get some? Like,
yeah.
Guys,
I know for this price you'll be able to get in real early.
Listen, that's what I'm talking about. This is what's like. I like Blockchain Center. Like I don't want it to be renamed. I see where it's going, Adam. I see where it's going. David Gokhshtein's API. Like, get into C++. I'm leaving. Like I was leaving. I was leaving 30 minutes ago, but I'm still here. You know why? Because I'm enjoying this place right now. You guys are really smart.
You were gonna go join this interview. It was like, yeah, go fuck them. We got 30 minutes of it.
Yeah.
No, I was. So, I'm not like that.
No, I'm starting to absorb your
humble New Yorker. Is that like an oxymoron, man? Come on.
I think like living in New York, like you'd meet me and be like, this guy, how did he grow up in New York City? Like that's what I get. Like a lot of people
can hear it in your voice. I can definitely tell.
Yeah.
Like I'm just starting to talk like him all of a sudden. I just gotta fucking
there you go. Right? Release it.
What's up with New York and Bing cherries? Like there's cherries everywhere.
What?
You all eat cherries. Notice that. You noticed that, right? I'm not from New York.
Where?
Cherries,
I love her reactions, like to everything. She's like,
yeah. She has a YouTube of just reaction videos.
No, I don't.
Just kidding. Big cherries in New York. Wow.
Yeah.
Listen. Well, I think I really do believe like the space is heading in the right direction. Mm-hmm. I would love to see people, I would love this space to mature. Like that's what I'm really looking for is like, stop calling everything a scam. Stop calling everybody a scammer just because you don't agree with them. Like these words just thrown out there so easy. Like, oh, project didn't do it, scam. Like, bro, like these projects, look at they're all okay. These people are not non-for-profits. Like, give everybody a chance, just like a real, like a real business. It takes time to build something. Like, give people a chance to build out. If it doesn't happen, then go ahead and throw any name you want at it. But give people a chance.
I think you're 100% right, but I actually think it's going to go in the opposite. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. Just like social media, there's a guy like taking a photo on Instagram, like hashtag success. When something like Zap comes out with its framework and allows everybody to tokenize themselves, like really mass market tokenization, it's going to get fucking crazy. Like you're going to have.
Adam, I'll tell you what's awesome about Zap. So when you guys, it was Luna Crush and you guys just jumped into the conversation.
Yeah.
What was cool is like, you have NFL players, you have NBA players too. I think one of in each sport right now they're trying to tokenize themselves. Mm-hmm. I think that's phenomenal. That is the next. I guess that's the next DeFi. So we're gonna go ahead and tokenize ourselves, and I think that's legitimately
that new Dapper Lab shit where they're doing like selling moments of the moments.
Really?
They have they're doing it with the NBA where like that one shot where they do that like 3
Who runs Dapper? Who runs Dapper? I forget what's
CryptoKitties. They Dapper Labs.
You know what's really going to be cool is that I think for esports. I know I'm gonna like throw everybody off here.
I saw that
all these kids get robbed. Like they don't get the money after they win.
Dude,
so like now you go ahead and tokenize yourself. Now you can't beat them out of their money. Now everything's on a smart contract. They're good. Oh, here you go. Adam's like, fuck no.
We're gonna talk about something. We're gonna talk about something after the call. You're gonna think it's not. I can't talk about it because somebody's gonna do it. But we started working on it. Like down your e-board.
It is right here. That's smart. That's why am I after 3? Hold on. After so many years, it's the first time you invite me on to Blockchain Center.
I mean,
what the fuck is going
on? Crypto winter was rough. I was eating ramen noodle out of corner bean. No, just kidding. No. No, I mean, I've been working together, putting together a really awesome team here. With Zap and Blockchain Center. I think everybody's really, Eric's one of them. And like there's a lot of other great people. So it's been a lot of work. I mean, I've been around. Eric and I ran a show called Coinvention, and then before that, we were running hackathons across the U.S.
Unbelievable. That was interesting because I was segueing to that earlier because when we went to like the North American Bitcoin conference, I literally found like 2 like somewhat overweight dudes. I was like, they're the developers. They're the only ones there. I'm like, I have to go hang out with them. And one of them turned out to be the one of the guys who wrote Beautiful Soup. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's really
mathematics
cool.
on the t-shirt. Mathematics on the t-shirt.
Everyone else was inside of like suits and looking like fly. I'm like, I just like bought this suit. It's obviously my first suit. Never really worn it before. Not really know how to button it right. And I'm like, you guys want to talk about like the stock market? Like, no. It's like it was like I talked to like 2 people, and then me and Adam were like, yeah, well, fuck conventions, and we'll run the hackathon instead. And we created a whole convention around the hackathon. And guess what? Now every fucking convention has a hackathon. I wonder why. Interesting. It's like as if you need developers for all these.
Like,
yeah, like you're saying, you can't just get the shell of a Lambo.
Because like, if you guys know me, like I'm in love with suits. So like that's all I wear. Like not to pretend like I just love suits. Like a bunch of like. By the way, on sale, Hugo Boss, like crazy. Like, but I bought a bunch. I'm bored. Obviously, I told you, COVID can't fucking go anywhere. There's dinosaurs.
I was expecting you to have that other beard that you had in another picture.
I'm sorry. You know what?
Not the beard. I'm like, what is this guy?
I shaved and I was going to get a haircut, but then again, my hair guy out. So like now I'm going out here like you, and within the next 30 seconds, Crypto finally is gonna fucking kick my ass because I'm on my own show. Fuck it.
Wait, can we just get her? We can segue her in.
No, if you want, we can. You know, it's good. We've been like here for.
We're here.
Am I going to get invited back or no?
Yeah, you're always welcome, Dave. Come on, come on.
Like, is this no? But I feel like honestly, all bullshit aside, I feel like number one, I feel like this is a one-time thing. I think this is like, hey, we're gonna just use David for a little, ratings boost, and then fuck him.
What do you mean?
Dude, we'll videotape you wrestling Nick in the New York City Center. Whatever you want. Like, we got it.
Nick,
come on down.
Nick, what's up? Like,
Nick,
what's up?
I'm gonna bring the Orbeez, and there's gonna be a lot of them.
Yeah, Nick. No, I mean, dude, he's a scary ass dude. I wouldn't do that.
I'll do some flint shit on you. Like, I'm dirty.
It doesn't have to be a one-time thing.
No.
But like literally, it's literally like I was being fully transparent. I'm like, what the fuck is Lunar Crush? Who is David? And why do I care?
Now you care.
But now I care.
We always cared.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even know you when I cared. I cared.
Yes.
Yeah, but we're over at in the Upper West Side, so we should definitely hang out.
Without a doubt. Honestly, you got this is like thank God, one of the most chilled shows I've come on, because like this is what I do. Like on Gokhshtein Unfiltered, which I'm going on next with Crypto finally. Like I'm just like, we're just chilling, and we're gonna be talking about some cool stuff right now. But like it's just a chill show. Like,
okay, do you want to invite me? What's up? Let's keep this rolling.
What year were you born in? What's your cell show?
I'm gonna hop. I'm gonna hop on there. But,
Adam, I think we're all gonna hop.
Okay.
So,
I'm hopping on it. When am I being invited back? Because I know absolutely profanities. I get it. I'm sorry, Nick, all the owners, Adam, all you guys. I'm so sorry.
Shout out your show. Tell everybody to go there now.
Listen, Gokhshtein Unfiltered coming on right now. Crypto finally she's probably fucking gonna leave. She was like, she fucking stood me up. But understand, Crypto finally, I just shouted you out like 19 times. So that, and also, can I give a shout out?
Rachel.
At Global, I'm the CMO there. Data storage, we're taking back our data. That's our little line. I have to be careful because
I like it.
But hopefully I'll be back next time, and I'll be listed on Binance.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We'll bore you to death with some code. It'll be sick.
You guys are awesome.
All right, guys.
Have a good one.
Hey, this is the end of this stream of Tokenizing. David Gokhshtein with Crypto Gal, Adam Menka, and me, Eric Manganaro of the Blockchain Center. Goodbye.